This is Greg picking up where I left off about my testimony. God was going to do a great thing in my life. I had no idea, no clue to where I was going, where I was headed in life. I was just reckless, really no brakes, no control, just really, you think of what we think of as the lost. Of course, drowning that with drugs and alcohol, you numb the effect, the feelings, the reality of I am lost and undone. Truly was. So, a series of things happened, like I told you, the three big major ones, 3 deaths around me that vastly impacted me. So, I'm, out doing the same old things at one night, and I come home. I'd moved back home with my parents. My younger sister was a teenager, and I was 19 years old. So I came home. Of course, I turned the TV on and, listened to some Saturday Night Live or something was on there. It might not even be Saturday Night Live then. It was something else. And it seems like I remember Stevie Nicks was singing on this show and being interviewed. So I turned that off and was sitting there. And what's really crazy is I knew it was the Lord. He spoke inside of me. I heard that inside of me and had a conversation, So the Lord's, he just, to the point, he said, if you want the answers to all these questions you've got, pick up that Bible. There's a family Bible there on the table. And so I remember as I'm reach over and I pick the Bible up, and I'm thinking the thought, I don't even know where to look. And as I'm forming that thought, I think this is how I knew it was the Lord. He would answer that question as the thought was formed before I would put any verbalization to it. He was answering my thoughts. And he said, just open it up and read. And I opened it up to Matthew, the 13th chapter, parable of the sower and weeds and tares, all of that. And he explained everything to me. Life, death, heaven, hell, God, the angels, Jesus. It all, as I read that, it was open to me, and so I got fearful. And as I did, I could feel the power, the Spirit of God as it was on me. It was, as fear entered in, I knew the Lord's Spirit was going away. The Lord God, it was going away. And as it did, I felt the presence of what we would call darkness, evil, doubt, fear. It was the devil, the evil one that comes to steal, right? Good seed is planted. That's what the Lord was doing. And the evil one came, just like in Matthew 13th chapter, and came to steal that seed away, right? To rip me off. And I cried out. I knew that the Spirit of God was leaving. This evil presence, the devil, was coming in. Like coming into the room through the walls or whatever, The Lord was exiting out through the hallway and out the roof. for lack of a better way to put it. And I cried out. And when I did, the Spirit of God came back in down that hallway and exploded in that room. And it was like light and life and goodness and safety, and the bad was gone. So man, I remember getting up and looking. They had a great big, huge plate glass mirror in the living room. I remember looking in my face and, real close and go, man, am I hallucinating, or what am I doing? What is going on? This is real. So I leave the living room, go to my bedroom, and I'm sitting on my bed, and I remember I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. This is a conversion, outside of church. I didn't even know what to say. I wouldn't know how to. And the Lord just spoke to me again. He said, all you got to do is say that you want and need me in your life. And as I formed that thought in my mind, and I was going to verbalize it, and the Spirit of God just rolled up all on me, through me. I remember I laid down on the bed, and as I asked questions, the Lord was explaining what was happening. And so I'm going to end it up right there with what was happening to me in my bedroom. Okay, on my next video. All right, thank you.